Hello everybody, my name is Courtney and I am here with Little Lamb Homestead bringing you videos about sustainability and growing your own food. So because I live in upstate New York, it is way too cold to grow anything. So during the winter I am focusing on budgeting videos because a big part of sustainability is living with what you have slash what you make. I want to preface this video with I am not trying to brag in any way, and I also know that this is not going to work for everybody's budget, but I want to show you how I budget my money so that you can use this as ideas to help you budget your money and get out of debt. I follow the Dave Ramsey principle. So everything that you'll hear me talking about today is based on his book, The Total Money Makeover. So today I am doing my December paycheck #1 video. I was paid yesterday. Okay. So I did write this out ahead of time and I'm just copying it down. Typically my budget has a lot of X's out and reconfigures because, well, I mess up a lot. So if you haven't seen the December budget video, I would suggest you start there. That's explaining my entire monthly budget, and this is just my paycheck #1 budget. This is based on 2 weeks of work. So I start with my bills and expenses. This money stays in my checking account so that I can pay all of this stuff electronically. This is going to be my debt and my my bills. So to start with my debt, I have credit 1. So I get paid twice in December, so I am only going to put $26 towards credit 1 this week. Next week, or the next paycheck, I'll put another $26 in, making it my $52 monthly payment. Credit 1 is my current debt snowball, and I'm hoping to pay this off by the end of December. So I am saving this money for my January payment, and if I'm able to pay it off in December, this money will go towards my next debt snowball, which is PayPal. So Dave Ramsey says to start at the lowest debt you have and then work your way up. Always paying just the minimum payment, and then once you pay off your first debt, this minimum payment goes towards your next debt. That'll make more sense once I pay off my credit 1 and I show you what's going to happen. So this paycheck for PayPal, I'm putting $16 into my PayPal fund, I guess, because I already paid it for this month from what I saved last month. So for my car, I am doing $100 for this paycheck. So next paycheck, I'll save another $100 and I'll pay the $200 at the beginning of January. What you could do is contact your loan providers and ask them to move your payments towards the end of the month so that the first 2 paychecks of the month you save it up and then pay it at the end of the month. I was lucky enough to be able to pay in advance just a little bit, so that way what I am saving in December is going towards my January bill. And hopefully that makes sense. So I have started paying on my student loans. So for my private student loan, this paycheck I am keeping out $109 because my total payment is $218 for the month. And then I have my federal loans, which I am taking out $40 from this paycheck. So the other two that I have after this are my bills. These are not debt. These are things that I pay for once a month. And technically I could take these out if I didn't want to pay for them anymore. But I use them, so I keep them on here. So I pay $10 a month for Planet Fitness. Technically I should be doing $5, but I'm gonna pay the whole thing this paycheck and then not add it to my next budget. And then the next one is Spotify, and that is also $10 a month, I believe. Okay, so these are all of my bills and expenses for this paycheck, and the total will equal $311. So next I do my cash and savings. This is money that I take out in cash. I will point out the money that stays in my wallet, and then I have sinking funds, which I'm going to explain in a different video. And those are cash envelopes that are basically mini savings accounts. And the money goes into the envelope to only be used on whatever that envelope is assigned for. And like I said, I'll explain that in my next video. So my first cash envelope that I keep with me is gas, and that gets $80 for this paycheck. This just went down because I got a new job and I'm not driving nearly as much. So instead of the normal $120, I reduced it to $80 for 2 weeks. This might actually be reduced again depending on how much I end up using. Next is spending. This, oh wow, I just spelled that wrong. This gets $60. And then I have groceries. And that also gets $60. This seems really low, but I am lucky enough to live in my parents' basement, and so most of the time I end up eating dinner with them, so I pretty much just have to worry about breakfast and lunch, and I'm pretty savvy with coupons and stuff like that, so $30 each week or $60 every 2 weeks is typically more than enough for me. And then I have date night. My boyfriend and I share the cost of date night, and that gets $50. So these four are the ones that I keep on me all the time because I'm using them regularly. And then my sinking funds are ones that I keep at home and I only bring with me if I know that I need to spend that money. And that's going to be $120. So this total is going to be $370. Oh, you know what? Let me change this because I like it all to look the same. That might be a little OCD of me, but hopefully you guys don't mind. Okay, so now what I do is I take my total budget. So I'm going to name this total budgeted amount. And I technically already have this off to the side, but I will show you. So I have $311 plus $370, and that brings me to $681. So I'm going to put $681 here. And then I take my income. Let me move this. And my income for this week is $810. And this is going to be the last week that this is normal, because my next paycheck will be half from my old job. And so things are gonna get a little weird for a little bit, but hopefully next month it'll normal out. So I'm going to take my income, which is $810, and I'm going to subtract the total amount that I've budgeted for this paycheck, which is $681, and that leaves me with $129. So Dave Ramsey teaches that you budget down to your last dollar, which means that technically this number and this number should match. However, I like to keep a little bit of budget or a little bit of cushion in my checking account just in case there's some type of overdraft payment, or say an account accidentally pay or charges me twice or something like that. I have a cushion in my checking account so that if that happens, I don't get overdraft fees. However, at the end of the month, this $129 will become my debt snowball payment. So it's going to be an extra payment that I put towards my credit one. So I'm going to put debt snowball, knowing that this is an estimate and it may or may not be this much depending on what happens throughout the month. And if you have any questions along the way, please let me know in the comments below, and I will either respond to you in the comments, or I'll make a video that addresses it so that everybody can hopefully understand better. Okay, so this is my paycheck number 1 budget. I am going to show you in my next video how I do my cash envelopes. I'm going to stuff them, and I'm going to explain more about my sinking funds. So if you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. And like I said, if you have any questions, please leave them down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!